The ceiling in the bathroom, 1442 Tyler Street, apartment 1, that's the bottom floor, F, which is in the front. And this damage was caused a couple days ago, about a week and a half ago actually. And then our water was turned off last Saturday, so we had no water for over a week. Today's a Sunday, and this is the damage that we have in the bathroom. The landlord was made aware of this last evening, on Saturday evening. He was supposed to be here to make this a safe environment today on Sunday by 10 o'clock in the morning, and he was a no-show, which is normal for him. Here's the wall that has all the drips on it from coming from upstairs. We've had to have several buckets in here. It's been dripping down, and it's gone through our feet. And this came down with quite a force because it's a drywall, and once it gets wet like this, it becomes very heavy. Here we have the toilet, and you can see that the area where you flush it is pulled out completely, which I can push back in and maneuver. However, Roger Noble, I'd like to note, last Saturday evening also turned off the water, which is outside. I'll show you where that is. He turned off the water, and we had no cold water coming into our bathroom, so we had no bathroom cold water coming from the sink area, and we could not flush the toilet. We had to have a bucket and take and pour it directly into the tank to get one flush. And that was going on for over a week until I called the police, and they came. A man named Flasher came. He's a master policeman, and he helped us out, and he turned the knob back on outside and got our water going for us again. This area here, you can see that after Officer Flasher came to the apartment and told Roger Noble to stop doing all of this petty harassment to us, Roger Noble decided that he would put his water on upstairs above my apartment, and his sink is located right in this area because I used to live up there and I know exactly where his sink is located. So he turned it on, he turned on his sink, and he allowed the water to drip right through by opening up his valve underneath the sink and letting the trap just drain straight down, which then caused the ceiling to also crack and fall, which it fell on certain people in my household and caused damage. Happens to be the damaged party right there. Buckets that I've had to use in the last week to put our water in that's been dripping. I just wanted to show those, that these are what had to catch the water because it was coming down as though it was a rainstorm. We're now at the outside of the building, and I would just like to show that on this side, which is the east side of the building, there's a little trap door that goes underneath the house, and right underneath there where that hole is in the center, that's where you put your hand through, and you can turn off the cold water, which is what Roger Noble did, so that we would have no cold water to flush our toilet for over a week or have any cold water to take a shower with. The policeman, Flasher, he came and he turned that on because he was a very nice person and did that for us, and we thank him a lot. This area right here, you can see where there is just plain cement with no paint on it. And then right there you can start to see where the drain pipe is. Well, where the drain pipe fell from here all the way down to here, which is quite a heavy item, fell on a little girl from the next house. Her name is Samantha Perrin. Her mother's very upset that this fell on her. It's a very dangerous situation. And right there you can see the holes that are in the building, which have been here for several months. The landlord is aware of these cracks and holes and chooses to do nothing about them. I have called, and it's documented with the code enforcement, and also we have had a building inspector here. However, they say that there's not much they can do because it is considered a historical building. However, it is a very unsafe environment, as you can see. And the people upstairs report that they are able to see from that window. They are able to see daylight coming through their bedroom window from that hole. And you can see another crack there. In this area right here, my landlord, Robert Broutman, had left a lawnmower here with me, which I have been taking care of the grass because our landlord neglected to do so. I like a nice lawn, and he was not willing to do it because it was getting longer and longer. I did ask him because this was on a borrowed contingency. I had put this lock of my own on this door so that the mower would not be taken. However, it was stolen a few weeks ago. We believe that Roger Noble also broke into it, and as you can see up close, it was banged with some kind of hammer or screwdriver. And this was his first attempt to say, well, if you can't cut the grass, maybe you'll move away. It's just another vengeance thing. However, I do use my neighbor Edward Perrin's mower. In this area right here, we have stairs that go up to the apartment here. There's a small child that lives in there and 2 responsible adults. This was supposedly fixed, these stairs. All that was done was 2 little bolts were put in the bottom. They need to be replaced, and you can see that they are very shaky and they would not hold any kind of weight at all. Come in here, this is our laundry room, and Mr. Noble, Roger Noble, decided that he was going to cut the plug. As you can see, this is for the washing machine. So we came in to use a washer, and very vindictively he had cut the plug so that we cannot use it. Now, as you can see, the dryer plug, which is over here, is still plugged in because he figures if we can't use a washer, we can't use a dryer. However, I am taking my laundry to the laundromat and bringing it here for drying, and we'll see if he sees that I use any kind of drying. He may cut that next. We're not sure. Up here you can see that this has a light. You can see that the light will go on now, but the only reason that does so is because this electricity for the light in here in the laundry room and this light here and this machine have now been put into my name. That's Maureen O'Brien. I talked with the FPL company and is now in my name. In this area here we have the hot water tank. As you can see, this is an older model. However, it's accessible to anyone, and it has an electrical plug here, right in here, that goes, this connects to this room here, which is like a little shed in the back of the room, in the back of the house. And this was turned off at the house meter, which allowed us not to have, it was, a padlock was put on the house meter so that none of us would be able to have access to hot water. That was also done by Mr. Roger Noble, and we had no hot water for showers or cooking or anything for several days. This area here in the dumpster area, several times this year, at least twice that I know of, our garbage has not been picked up for several days, for several weeks actually, because the landlord has not paid the bill on time. We would call him and he would not respond. We have had several rats in the apartment building. I did call the code enforcement, and they have it on record that our garbage was not picked up because they had to come and pick it up. Here, right here we have the pipe. This is the drain pipe that fell on the little girl next door. I just wanted to show it up close. This is a 2-year-old girl, and this her mother would like to say a few things to the landlord. However, he is not ever available to come around. And this is what fell on her from the side of the wall that's unsafe. In this area here, this is where we have the electrical meters. This is a brand new meter from FPL. This is the house meter. This will run the washing machine, the dryer, and the hot water tank. This was a padlock was placed right here by a Mr. Roger Noble again. It was taken off by the FPL people when we called them because we wanted to do this in the proper legal manner. And they had to, what Mr. Noble did was he had taken out the old meter and he had placed it here into his own meter, which is upstairs, because he was taking the electricity illegally. And as you can see, that's F2 up, and that's where Mr. Noble lives. So FPL came and they changed this, locked it, so that he could get no more electricity because he was stealing it. And then here they had put a new one in because it is now in my name, Maureen O'Brien's name. That's the house meter. Then Mr. Noble decided that he was going to take an extension cord from his house, which is documented with the Hollywood Police. And he had plugged it in here, and he threatened my husband and I that we had better not touch that plug, or there would be hell to pay. Here we have numerous cracks in the building again, which are very unsafe. Took it upon himself to come out here and cut the wires for our cable in the building. We had these replaced by someone else that had come in, who's a friend, and he came in and fixed our cable for us. However, Mr. Noble was very upset that his electricity was turned off by FPL, so he decided to be vindictful again and cut our cable. This was also documented by Hollywood Police. On this side of the house, you can see a large crack, again, very unsafe. Over in this area here, there is a air conditioner. Underneath that air conditioner, the wall is caving in, and if that air conditioner gets loose, it will fall on someone's head. And up above, you can see the chimney. It has large cracks in it. I'll get an up-close picture of the cracks, and you can see that goes all the way from the top. It comes all the way down, and it's a very unsafe condition. The landlord is aware of this, but he chooses to neglect it. Area over here, once again, we have numerous cracks in the wall. Mr. Noble also had taken it upon himself that he did not want my name on my mailbox, and as you can see here, he scratched my original sticker off, and I had to put my name on again, and then I did so for him as well as the other tenants. I put new ones on so he couldn't. In this area here, this is the debris this is just a partial amount of the debris that fell from my ceiling in the bathroom, which is very dangerous. It has numerous nails that are rusted, and this is just a small pile of it. The rest of it was thrown into the dumpster. Mr. Noble decided to pick up this debris in a vindictful way and take it and throw it over here about 2 weeks ago onto my front yard because he didn't feel it was right for me to put it out here so the landlord could see. Area here, this is my front patio. You can also see numerous cracks in the structure, also very, very unsafe. And if the landlord can't see that, he would have to be extremely blind. A storm this past winter, and it was very windy conditions. My awning above my front door was ripped down. No one chooses to fix it. This area right in here, this is not secure at all. You can see I can put my hand right into the hole. This will fall down as soon as it gets windy. It's a very unsafe condition because this whole area will fall down. This pole going across here is very, very unsafe. Again, there are some more cracks that you can see, and that's going directly to the upstairs apartment where Mr. Noble is occupying. You can see the crack in the wall. It's underneath the air conditioner, and if that gives way, that air conditioner may fall out at any time. It's a very unsafe condition. Here, this is the bottom rear apartment, and you can see there is the air conditioner unit, and again, you can see the cracking, and if that wall gives way, that air conditioner will fall. It's not steady. All the way along the wall. All the way. Enforcement has been here several times requesting for over a year now almost. It's almost July, that this area in here be fixed because of the rotten wood, and our landlord has decided to dismiss that also. Also, this wood up here, you can see how it's been rained upon. It's not treated properly. It's black, and at any time that could fall through, and that is coming from the apartment above into this person's space right here. The lock on this door right here. This is the rear apartment, and you can also see a crack that goes all the way from the ground, and I take you right up to here, which is unsafe for the stairway above it for support. This lock here was originally put in by the landlord. It had not worked for several months. This tenant had to go without locking his door. It was dismissed by the landlord, who is never around and doesn't care. And then it was changed to a regular lock, and then the landlord decided one day that he would come into this person's apartment without any type of written notice, and then he left the door wide open. So when the tenant arrived in his house that evening, he came home to a wide open door, and then it was changed again so that he could get some type of security in his apartment. This door over here, this brings us into the room where they turned off all the electricity, which has now been turned on into my name, so that we can keep the hot water tank for all of us here. Back again to the hot water tank, which I showed before for the electricity's sake. Also, you can see a great amount of rust. I'll take a close-up of the rust on that, which is extremely dangerous. That could send hot boiling water out at any time. It's on a very unsteady base, which is down here. That could tip over. As you can see, I could just push it with my hand right over, and it needs to be in a sheltered area. There are children that play in this area. Oh, what else did he do? I took my...
Did you already take the picture of the cut cord on the washer?
Yeah, I took the washer, and I said that the dryer was still okay, but I said we'll put that on later. If he decides that we're drying our laundry, he may cut it. I put her stairs on. I put the name of the things to say. Oh, I should also tell about the water.
And the Odyssey with the constant turn off of the garbage as well.
Yeah, I did. I said that with the...
And all the potholes you showed too.
I'm going to show these now. We're supposed to park our cars, and as you can see, there are many holes which are very unsafe. As I said, we have children that walk and play back here, and anyone could just fall into one of these holes at any time and break their leg. Of course, this is not noted by the landlord. The area here is by our water meter out into the street. This fills with water when it rains, and it's a very unsafe condition. If one of the power lines, which are right there, had ever fallen into this where there's water setting, anyone that stepped into that would be electrocuted immediately. This is R2 apartment. Here you can see where the wall has been patched very poorly. This wall needed to be repaired due to a water leak inside of the bathroom. This is the bathroom area right here. All the tiles fell off inside of the bathroom area, and it was replaced several months ago by two very unqualified gentlemen, shall I call them. We have broken windows here, and nothing has been repaired. We've all put down security deposits, but that doesn't seem to faze the landlord at all, and you can see how we have jagged glass here. And this is a very dangerous situation because, again, I say this is a patio area where people come out to enjoy a barbecue, and children are around this area and could be hurt. Here's another example of having an awning. You can see that the tenant has, they requested that it be fixed like the one in the front. However, what they have to do is use this yellow rope tied up to their very wobbly staircase to try to hold that up so that there's some type of security. In this area here, coming out of the bathroom, you can see that there is another crack. This area right in here, this was a bench, and over here was a picnic table. This picnic table was smashed into little bits by the construction workers that came to work on the building to help with the bathroom problem. However, they sat on it and put their heavy tools on it and knocked it right down, and then it had to be reconstructed by the tenant himself. And you can see in what disrepair the flooring is in up here. At any time, this could probably fall through, and this is the way he leaves it up here instead of trying to make any type of secure environment. So upstairs, now this is going over the balcony, and I'll show how far down this goes. There's some power wires, and you can see right down there into the area below, side of the house. This is supposed to be a security area so no one would fall or hurt themselves, and you can see these deep cracks and crevices here that are not secure at all, that at any time this also could fall through and someone could be hurt very. And this also represents, here's the roof of the man next door, so you can see how high up we are, and you can see how these cracks follow right along. It isn't just in a confined area. It goes all the way along the entire wall. Here as well, there's cracks along the bottom of the foundation. Very insecure area. Beneath where the picnic table was, and you can see where there are major holes. This is not a secure area. At any point, that could also fall through. Here's an up-close view of the rope that has to be tied around it with the red ribbon so that no one chokes themselves to death as they come out the door. Very, very unsafe conditions. This is the security railing that you would use onto these wobbly steps, and you can see how it's damaged. The rain has caused it to slope like that, and there's no security here to hold on to it. It's just completely sloping at this time. It's all been cracked, and it's very warped, and and you can see on the floorboards there's no paint left, and everything is very weathered. This is a stairwell area. This is coming from the upstairs apartment. This is now you can see a crack that's in this bottom tenant's window, and also you can see how poorly constructed this is here. There's an air conditioner right above here. As the water drips down, it rots this wood here, and you can see that the wood is very rotten, and this is a very, very unsafe and insecure area where I'm stepping now. The area of the
look at the edge in here too.
An example of this is the railing that these people need to hold on to, and you can see where the nails are not even together. I can move this with my hand very, very easily. It can shake it. You can see where the nails they're not even connected in there, and they have a small child that lives up here, and you can see all the cracks in the wood, and over on this side as well. If I get down close here, you might be able to see that there's gaping holes right in here. This is not put together. This area right here is a storage area in the back, and you can see that code enforcement has also been here. There's no window. This area right here is just open. Rain and wind can go directly through that area, and that has also been called upon from code enforcement to be fixed. You can check the date of that, which would be several months ago, and if you check as of today, in May, nothing has been done as of yet. Little area right in here is where we kept our lawnmower that was stolen, that we believe was taken probably by Mr. Noble. Up in this area here, this is where we go from the upstairs, where you can see that you need the proper support. However, down here, as we come down and pan down to here, you can see that it's held together with a little board with some rusted nails in it, and this is supposed to be the support for the upper section of the stairwell. The stairwell, where you can see that the wood has been replaced and very shoddily put back together again. It's not been treated wood. This area right in here, I believe this is where our telephone lines are, and you can see that it is not secured at all, that the wires are hanging out, and we have this box that is in disrepair, and this will probably be the next thing that Mr. Noble will decide to fool with. We're trying to keep our cell phones near our bed so that we are not cut off at night when he decides to do something foolish again. In this area here, you can see where the mesh has been cut here for underneath the house. It's probably been done for various reasons, to get under there, to do numerous damage to pipes and etc. by Mr. Noble. This is my vehicle here. I want to just show the condition of the car because I feel that Mr. Noble may have ideas to slash my tires or do something with my outer mirrors or perhaps my antenna or my windshield, and I want to just show what type of condition that my car is in. It's a Neon Ontario. There's the plate number. So if there's any damage to this car, this is usually parked out, this is always parked out in the same spot in front of my house, and I will take further pictures of it if there's any damage done to it whatsoever. And there you can see the back view, and again you can see the license plate. It belongs also to my apartment. I'm going to show a picture of it so that you get the correct idea of what's happening. Everything is secure on this car. There are no dents or any type of tire problems with it. There we have the gas tank in case there's a problem with this. I'll show in the back so you can see the plates and that there's no dents or any type of damage done to this car. Only damage to this mirror right here, and I'll show that now. You would not blame anyone for that damage there. This is the area. This is F2. This is where Roger Noble resides, and I'm going to show the chimney on this side, which is, you can see, in very, very bad condition. And I'll show you that up close so you can see the type of damage that we have to it. At any time that could fall, or someone could push it if they were vindictive enough to do so while someone was standing underneath it. And that's that area right there. Here's a note that I'm seeing on Mr. Noble's door. He says it's 8:30 a.m. on Sunday. It says, Lionel, I'll meet you at Dunkin' Donuts at 10 a.m. Maureen got real drunk last night and created loud disturbances until after midnight. She had a ball bat and threatened to kill me and you. We need to talk, Roger. So this is what we put up with here.